Hey folks, Patrick here, amateur radio call sign KK4JIK. Well, it's March 2nd, 2019. Out here at the closest and I think my most favorite spot. We're panning out here on the lake up here in Cherokee County, Georgia. I have an interesting situation today. It has rained for 3 weeks. Haven't seen the sun or a non-rainy day in a very long time. I don't think we're going to see much sun today, but I don't think there's any rain. So I'm sure our little creek's been going crazy and refreshing the gold. We'll hope so. The interesting thing is when I checked the levels of the lake last night online, it's the highest it's been in as far back as the data went, which was 7 years. We are 9 feet over full pool. And full pool, if you've seen the earlier videos, means that the lake certainly covers the little hole I've been working, and usually comes up to about that waterfall. We're about halfway out the trail. I'm starting to see some water. I'm kind of looking down into the into the holler, and I can see the lake in the holler. I'll turn this. Oh yeah, we're probably not doing any panning today. Yep. Well, there's a little bit of the creek is open. I'll turn this around and let you have a look at what's usually just creek. Let's see, how's that? I don't know if you can see all that, but usually that goes very, very deep down into the creek. And that's lake. And I bet that hadn't been like that in at least 7 years. And boy, it's full. We'll go the rest of the way down, and so I can get a shot of the lake that I've probably gotten in a previous video. Maybe I'll do a side-by-side picture comparison. Oh my gosh, it looks like a swamp. We're almost there. So let's see, what is this gonna do? I'm not entirely sure. Maybe it'll soften. Sorry, I can't get over how high the water is. Maybe it'll soften up the sides of the creek, and when the water comes down, maybe allow some of that to naturally slough into the creek. And a lot of the placer outside of the creek in this one hasn't necessarily been worked before. So maybe it'll refresh some gold. There's so much water in this lake. Oh my goodness. I can't even get down the trail. Let me turn the camera around and you can see. Trails flooded. My goodness, that's a lot of water. If we want to get over to the other little creek, yeah, I'll have to go up and around. Maybe a good time to show you some of the Black Shaft old area of this historic mine up here. Let me maybe tilt up a little bit here. You probably can't make anything out in this shot. We'll get up there and I'll show you some stuff. But yeah, let's see. I'll get down here right to the water's edge. Wow! That's a lot of water. I've been coming to Allatoona for 12 years and I've never seen it this high. So normally, where we'd be panning, you know, if I kind of looked down that way, you'd see the creek running, and you know, we've been looking out that way, and it's nice and dry, and just a whole bunch of mud right through these trees here, out where the trees go away. Is kind of the trail, and it drops maybe, you know, 10 feet down into the creek. It's probably 10 feet over, so it's probably my honey hole is probably 20 to 25 feet under that water. So not getting in there today, unfortunately for us. But I'll see what we can do to have some other types of adventures. Maybe explore a different part of the creek. If that doesn't work out so well, we'll go And I think in a previous video I showed you the old mine ruins. We'll go up to where some of the old mine shafts from a different set of workings were, up that way. And maybe we'll get into the tailings piles of the workings that are kind of over this ridge here. If that's not flooded too. Wow, that's a lot of water. Need to text my buddy and let him know what's going on, because he might not want to make the trip all the way up here for not a guaranteed honey hole excursion and pulling gold out. A couple of weeks ago I ran into let me turn the camera around. A couple of weeks ago I ran into some cool guys out here that were panning a little higher up the creek, and panned with them a little bit, and we actually pulled a fair bit of gold for Georgia. You California and Nevada and British Columbia folks would be laughing at us, but a decent amount, enough to bring you back tomorrow. But nothing like this part of the creek here, which is behind you now, which is usually underwater, that not a lot of people get into. So pause video for a minute, and we'll come back when we decide what we're going to do on this really wet, flooded day. And we're back. Went back up to where the trail kind of crosses the creek up here, and really above that, people report not finding hardly any gold at all, so we're going to stay below that. And the sun's come out, so that's nice. Yay! A long time. Sitting here at a big curve in the river. It looks like it's been chewed out by the recent hard rains. There's a little bedrock right here. I'll turn the camera around in a second. I think maybe the good idea would be to walk down the creek. And I got my muck boots on. Walk down the creek and see maybe we can find a good looking spot to pan, and bring you along for the ride too, in case anything fun happens, like, oh, I slipped, fall in the lake, see a magical unicorn, something like that. Take a look at this. The sun's going to be in the shot, so it might kind of lens flare, but let's see. Walk up here. This is the bend. So just right around that next corner is where the trail crosses, so we're just maybe 30 yards south of that. Comes down, goes over some good stuff. This little corner right here has been worked by so many people. There's a trail coming down here. The trail we walk in on is right there. This place here is spent. Although I did dig in that big hole a few weeks ago, and kind of over there where the ground's been sloughing off. Found a little bit, but nothing to get me too terribly excited. Kind of got down in some of that, and less than you'd expect. So goes over this way, and I got to digging on some of this bedrock. You can see it's kind of that ridged bedrock, and so I removed a lot of some of the gravel there and got down in there into the grooves, and again, a lot less than you'd think. So this area up here has been worked so heavily. There's just not much gold left in the creek. You got to wait for big rains to slough stuff off the side and hope you're the lucky one that finds where the gold dropped. You can look over the other side of the creek. It's just a briar patch. If you look over here, through these little trees here, it's relatively clear from as many people have panned this small area of the creek. There's a little trail, walk-in roads right there. This is just worked to death. So maybe we'll go down a little bit, and I could come back up. There's some big rocks right there, and that's certainly bedrock. Our options are going to be limited today. Let's see how slick this rock is. It is slicker than snail snot. That's all right. A little bit more bedrock here. Ooh, there's a hole right down in there. Nice gravelly here, sitting right on bedrock. But I just bet this has been so overworked. Lots of bedrock here. Going on down a bit. That's probably not a bad spot before this little log jam and this bedrock sticking up here. if you check back on some of the historical maps, the old, what is it? I'm going to get the names wrong. Yates was the Geological Survey head honcho of Georgia, and there was another guy, I'm going to say McDuffie, McAlley, something like that. They came in here and checked this whole area back when mining was active and marked where some quartz veins were cutting through this bedrock. There's a little bit of one right there. So maybe we'll pick a spot right around one of those areas where we see a vein going through. Hopefully we can find an inside corner and some gold. Yeah, it just looks so promising. It's lots of ridges and traps in the bedrock, and gravel sitting in there. I know it's been raining like crazy, but I'll tell you, I've tried this creek. It's been a disappointment. Well, we're at the end. This is the lake. It just gets deeper and deeper and deeper. If you can see down that way, that's flooded. So that's it. We don't have much to choose from. So I'm pretty sure one of the guys I ran into a couple of weeks ago, we were right in here. This is where we were panning. So well, I guess our decision has been made for us. It's going to be right in here because that's the only open spot. Let me get back up through this mess how I'm all tangled up. Well, that's a slight bit of comedy adventure for today. All right, I gotta drop my jump. Figure this stuff out. Back in a minute. Hey, all right, folks. So, well, good news. 2 little flecks of gold in the first pan. I did set up at the Big Bend. That has been overworked for years and years and years because the trail comes right to it. I am literally at the foot of the trail where everyone walks in. There's the road. I'm digging right there, which feeds in from, there's that big corner. So I'll tell you, that corner looks a whole more washed out than it did 3 weeks ago when I was here, before it rained so much. So what I'm hoping is that all this gravel in here, kind of gold settled right there. That is a deep hole on some ridgy bedrock. Ridgy is probably not the right word, but whatever. That's what I'll call it. I was trying on that ridgy bedrock a couple of weeks ago with very little success, but a little bit. So looks like today it'll be working that, because I was working fast and kind of panned quickly to see if this was going to be worth it, and 2 decent little flecks of gold in the first pan. So not bad. Teeny tiny stuff, but I'm literally taking the gravel off the top of the hole right now. So we'll come back a little bit and get a little bit more into it. Alright, I'm doing the old Dan Hurd thing, and hey Dan, I like to watch your videos. And if y'all haven't checked out Dan Hurd Prospecting, please do. He's got a great channel. I've learned a lot from him. He likes to set his camera up over there and stand here and pan, because, well, I like watching it, so maybe y'all like watching it too. I'm just digging in the hole. Down in the other spot, there's a whole lot of clay. I'm very thankful that there's not a lot of clay up here. rock. Can't see, I turned up some mud. I think I found the clay. There we go, there's the deep part. So I figured I'd show you kind of what a typical pan of, what I'm panning out of here is looking like today. And there it is. See if I can get it in the shade. Maybe, I can't tell if that's in focus or not. There is some, that's a pretty good one today. Let's see, let me get my head in the shadow. There we go. Maybe that looks all right. But that's kind of a typical Georgia pan of gold, unless you got private property and can use a dredge or a sluice or something. That's about what you get. So we are envious of y'all in the Northwest and the Southwest, because they're pretty tough on us here. They'll take all your stuff, and I think the minimum fine's $10,000 for even having a sluice, like a mini sluice down here. So it is pan and shovel only. So really down here it's more about the fun and, you know, the love of the hobby and getting outside, and you know, that hope that maybe, you know, you find that big nugget or something and maybe make enough to buy some more gold panning equipment. That's about what it is. All right, back after a while after we get some more of this stuff done. Hey, so it's about noon here. Maybe 1. I hadn't checked in a while. I have not yet found the end of this hole, and I just wanted to show you a typical, oh, that's the sun in the camera. Typical pan. Again, I'm still pulling out a whole lot of small stuff. A couple of pans ago I had 2 in a row, pretty big flakes, fairly surprising for this creek, this high up. But let me see if I can get a shot of this last pan. Get it in the shade and get some water on it. Hope it's not going out of focus. All right, I think I found a good spot on an inside corner. Keep working that. If I find any of those big flakes again, I'll make sure and get a shot of those for you. I know that's what I like to see when I watch the videos is gold in the pan, and I'll do my best to get some of that. Heard from a buddy of mine, he's supposed to be coming out here about 4 o'clock, be able to spend a couple hours out here. Maybe we'll increase our production a bit. All right, back in a bit. All right, well, started running a little dry on the in this hole I've been working, so I moved up a little bit and moved right where all of the slough there would have sloughed off in the recent rains. And well, I hit a good little spot. So if I can get a shot of what we got in here, I need to shade it. Let's see. Put a little water on it. Shade. There we go. We'll get close. It's going to be out of focus probably. Rather large for Georgia. Rather large for this creek. There's a lot of micro gold in there as well. So yeah. I'm going to change to work in that spot for a little while. Should be just a couple hours and my buddy will show up. Can't wait for that. He'll be excited. He went with me a few weeks ago and we found some gold and he got bit by the bug, so it'll be good to have someone else here digging in the rocks with me. I need to get some water gloves. My fingers are getting torn up. Maybe if somebody knows a good pair, they could leave a comment down below and tell me where I can get some. That would be cool. All right, back in a little bit. All right, everybody, this is the same camera shot I've had all day long. Wow, I bet my hair looks good. I can feel it flopping around. Oh well, I don't care because I'm having fun. It's about 4:30. My buddy Chuck's running behind, but that's okay because he said he's going to stop and get Wendy's, and it'll probably be light till about 7. But we'll give it that long and see if we don't have to hike out here with flashlights. Anyway, while I wait on him, my back hurts, and yeah, I know, boo-hoo me. Figured I might show you kind of some of the piles of rocks I made today. I don't think I've ever been through so much gravel in a day before. I've been out here, I think it's about 6 hours now, and I'm hungry, I'm tired, and my back is gonna be angry at me tomorrow. It's angry at me now. So let's see if I can just kind of turn the camera around, show you a little bit. Let's see, that's downstream, that's where I'm at right now. And here is upstream with that corner. We've seen that today. Okay, so I pretty much dug that entire hole out. You know, I hear GoPros are waterproof, but you know, I'm just gonna check on the internet before I dunk it in the water. You can see all of, oh, let's see, this, I don't know if you can tell these holes here. I do have my muck boots on there, I don't know, 14 inches high. If I step in them, water goes over the boot. Ask me how I know that. Anyway, it looked like that when I started. Maybe you can see all that gravel there. So I don't know, these reflections might not let you see it, but we'll give it a shot. All that gravel, all those big rocks over there, which I'll toss back in the creek before we leave. All that big pile of gravel. Let's see, and you know, when I was working over here, I was just tossing it up here, so got into some of that right down where the side of the creek's been sloughing off. Found some big pieces of gold, and then it just kind of went away. So I went back to old trusty down here, this area right here, and I've been kind of concentrating right in that area. Hey, it's a lens flare blocker. Flare, no flare. Flare, no flare. I'll do no flare. Oh, that's my hand. Every pan today has had gold. I've probably been through 20 pans and at it for 6 hours. So this is not so bad, seeing that it's all flooded downstream. Maybe I'll start spending some time here because it sure is easy to get to. Seeing as there's a little trail and there's the walk-in road. There's another small trail, oh, about there, which leads up that hill, and I'm parked right up there. There's a house over there through the woods. I kind of wish I lived there, but I like my house. Anyway, that's going to do it for a while. I'm going to sit down and take a little break. My back hurts and I'm tired, and I'm going to wait on my buddy Chuck to bring me some Wendy's. I got a full bucket from the good hole here, ready to go as soon as he shows up. And I'm actually going to save the best stuff for him. He's just getting into it, and it's always good to find gold when you're getting into it, because we sure didn't. Anyway, maybe I'll film a little bit when Chuck's here, and you'll get to know him a little bit. And I can't think of anything else to say, so bye. So here we are in my messy garage. It's Sunday, after we panned at the crazy flooded creek, and gonna find out how much gold we got. I'm not even sure if I'm in the shot. If I'm not, maybe that's better for you. Gonna try this finishing pan. I've tried it before. I don't like it very much, but it's a lot easier than getting the hose out and running like a mini sluice box with my green pan. I've got a little, what's it called, jet dry in the water here. Let's see what happens. I'm probably going to get wet. Or drop my gold. Or both. I should probably just take this out. And of course my hands are slippery. Oh well. Can't get that little rock out of there. Let's see. Maybe I just pull it through. That seems easier. Push that little thing out. I don't think there's anything in the tube. I'm gonna get rid of that stupid rock. One less thing to deal with. And let's see how this works out. There's all the gold. You can see some of it there already. There comes some. Still got black sand in there. I'm talking a little low because I'm in my driveway. And I don't want my neighbors to think I'm a weirdo. It's probably too late. That seems to be it. And let's see what this finishing pan does. Let's see. The jet dry is supposed to make gold not float. There's a lot of. I think I've got some flecks of mica in there, and not just gold, because it sure is floating on top there. I'm going to end up at some point repanning all this stuff before I clear it out, so I'm not terribly concerned. You know what? Yes, I am. I'm going to go get my other pan, my safety pan, stick it down in there. Alright. Well, I guess I need a piece of stick in there. Let's clean the pan out. Stick it down in the bottom and put a piece of gold ore on it. Good enough. Alright, here we go. Clean up from yesterday. It's March 3rd, and it is dreary. It's been raining all day. And it's supposed to be sunny for the rest of the week, but like a high of 40 and low of 22. I'm going to do something to kill some of the weeds in my lawn. Alrighty. Sure hope that's just mica. A lot of black sand. I don't spend too much time on site getting rid of the black sand. As soon as I see gold, and suck it up, move on to the next pan. Again, all we're allowed to do in Georgia is pan and shovel, so time in the creek is precious. Do that delicate cleanup when you get back here to the house. Somewhere I have a magnet. I'll get it out soon and get some of this stuff that remains out here. I can see the gold building up now. Let's see if you can see that in there. You see it building up there? I think I just saw a piece of gold move its way into the second riffle, so let me just kind of, yeah, there it is. Reset. That's a whole lot of chunky rocks. I wonder if I can do something about that. Now it's all mixed together. Let me go get the magnet. See if that does some. That helps out. Got the bulk of the black sand out of there. I don't see any gold in the safety pan. Actually, that's probably a piece of mica. Plunger magnet. Push it down. Put some magnet right there. It picked up a little bit. Let's drop it back here. See if it took any gold with it. It did. Took a big chunk of gold with it. Let's get that piece of gold moved back up to the front. Here you. Here, gold. Come on. No gold in that mess. I'm just going to rinse it out. Alright. Unfortunately, all these stupid big things are not magnetic. We'll give that another shot. I'll spread it out a little bit. I think I need more water. I've got a little bit more. I don't see any gold in that. And I don't see any gold right there. Let's wash this mess out. Again, still washing everything into the safety pan in case something lets go. Well, there's a lot of chunky, I guess that's going to be hematite and not magnetite since it is non-magnetic. Let's see if I can get rid of some of that stuff. Oh, well, that gold is following it right on in there, isn't it? Gold is going right along with it. Well, I guess this is what they make those blue spiral bowls and stuff for. Well, that worked out pretty well. I just kind of slung the water around in the bowl and was able to separate a lot of the hematite from the gold. There's one little piece trying to go with it there. I do have some micro gold in here. Alright, no gold in the back yet. Let me go ahead and dump that mess out. Alright. That's better. Let's try a reset, see what happens. The gold is going right along with the hematite. Let's see what happens if I get it to the I may have to get the hose. I got a little trick. I put a Oh, look at that. I got some more of the chunky stuff out of there. That is a piece of gold. It looks more white than it does gold. I think that's a piece of lead. I've really about got all the big chunks of hematite out of there. Couple little, oh no, there's a big old fleck of gold right there. Look at that one. Trying to get away from me. But you could not. Uh-oh, where'd you go? End up into my fingernail, didn't it? I guess I flipped it all the way back over there. Either that, oh, that is a piece of gold stuck to a piece of black sand. I want to make sure and capture that. Alright, I'm going to get rid of this, and that's going to about do it for the hematite. Ooh, wow, there's a lot of micro gold stuck back there. I'm glad I didn't rinse all of that out of there. Gold in Georgia is so fine. Okay. Like a gold over there. Alright, I think I've got all the gold up towards the front. Let's take a look at what we got here. There's not a lot of light. There might be horrible reflections, but let me get up behind the camera. Make sure you can get a good view here. See, that's pretty good for a one-day take. Well, it just moved on me. Now to get rid of the last little bit of black sand. A lot of that gold is moved into out of the bottom of the pan into the first riffle. I'm afraid that that's about as good as I'm gonna get with this finishing pan, and boy, the light is going quick. So well, I will put this back in the snuffer bottle and finish this up later, but this gives you a good idea of what we got after a day. Some good flakes in there. I hope you can see that. There's not a lot of light. Sure, I get the rest of that. Alright. And this wasn't the best video in the world, but I really wanted to get this video posted, and I wanted to show, oh wow, there's a lot of micro gold in there. I really wanted to show, kind of the take from yesterday. It's a pretty productive day. Probably my best day so far. Big bubble. Alright. Get in here, gold. Oh, I didn't get it all. Get in here, gold. All right. So, man, I got a lot of gold in the tip of the bottle. I could probably put that in the... No, I'm going to clean that up a little bit more. I was going to say I could put it in my gold vial. Because when I end up smelting, I just burn that stuff off. But that's going to be a while, and I don't want to show a vial of dingy stuff to people. So, you know what? Let's see if I lost any gold. This is my favorite pan, even though there's a bunch of stupid rocks in here. Let's see. Let's pan through this pretty quick. Let me reset that. I do love this pan. I got it as part of a kit. It's got this one sharp undercut riffle. Well, they're all undercut riffles, but there's not like a gold catch in the bottom. I actually don't prefer that. I prefer this one. The only current pan I've found that matches this design is by a company called Proline. I was looking at them this morning. And they're reasonably priced. It's $17 for one of these. I think this is a 14-inch pan. I'm going to need to get one. My favorite kind. I guess probably because just that's what I'm used to. Alright, let's see if I got any gold stuck in there. I think there's a whole lot of fine flour gold in there. I really do. I'm going to dump those pieces. Where are you? Alright. Get rid of this stuff. I'm going to have to get one of those spiral gold wheels. Oh, I didn't get it. Alright, I don't want these stupid big rocks back in what I'm doing. There's a fair amount of micro gold in there, so I'm going to suck this stuff back up. I was watching a video last night on somebody was using a Miller concentrating table. That looks pretty cool. I may try to build myself one of those. And if I do, I will film it. And so we can figure out how to build one of those. So I can use it to recover this fine Georgia gold. Alright, that'll do it for the day. I have no idea how much that was. Probably a tenth of a gram or something crazy. That's about it. Okay, well, until the next adventure.